me on the gram. Number 3 is for the gram. If you are not following me on Instagram and you have Instagram, go to Instagram and follow me. I'll follow you back. Give me that tablet. Let me know. Thank you. If you are following me on the gram, let me know. If you are not, please go follow me on Instagram. My name on Instagram is the same name I got right here on TikTok. My name on TikTok is my name on the gram. If you are not following me on the gram, please be following me on the gram. Welcome in. Make sure y'all share my live out to 10 people. Hold my nose down. Listen. Hey Monique Love. Hey Monique Love. Make sure you are following me on TikTok. Make sure you are following me on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Hey YouTube. Make sure you are following me on Instagram. If you're not following me on the gram, please go look for me and go follow me on the gram and let me know that you sent me a request and I will go and follow you back on the gram. We can do it live. Let me know if you following me on the gram. Let me know you following me on the ground. And I will follow you back on the ground. Today's topic, I already told y'all. Today's topic is what I said the other day. How were you raised? No, that was not the topic. Not what was you exposed to? Today's topic is what are you exposed to? Today's topic is what are you exposed to? That's today's topic. What are you exposed to? Let me go to my page. Today's topic. Welcome in, Miss Cynthia. This is my. Let me. If you are not following me, go follow me on the ground. I'm about to go back and then go. Whoa. If you not there, you go. If you are not following me on Instagram, please follow your girl on the ground. Please, my name on Instagram. Oh, that's why. Hold on, y'all. My name on Instagram is my name on TikTok. If you are not following your girl on the ground, I'm trying to make it be seen, y'all. Follow your girl right there. Follow your girl. My name is the same as my name on. If you are not following me on Instagram, please go follow. I don't know why this keep on. It's something special. I am on there. Please do. Because listen, I need like 400 and something followers so I'll be able to go live. Dang. I got 27 people watching me, but I got one thumb up. What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? I got 18 people looking at me, but y'all not thumbing up. What's up? Today's topic is what were you exposed to? Yes. Hold Again Academy coming June 2026. That's what's up right there. Listen, I need y'all to help. Welcome in, Miss Sherry. Make sure y'all keep pushing that out so people can know. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. I need y'all to help fill this gift goal. I need 17 more people to go and give me the TikTok emoji. Give me the TikTok emoji. Today's topic, I told y'all yesterday. I told y'all the other day. What were you exposed to? What were you exposed to? And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what you were exposed to. Okay. Today is what are you exposed to? Topic. What were you exposed to? That's the topic. What were you exposed to? What were you exposed to? And what I mean by that, what I mean about what were you exposed to? It means what this is what I mean. Meaning when you grew up, what were you exposed to? Were you exposed to somebody showing you love? Were you exposed to a two-parent household? Were you exposed to a one-parent household? Were you exposed to your mama cussing you out? Were you exposed to your daddy cussing you out? Were you exposed to them always showing up? Like, what were you exposed to? Because it says a lot about your character as an adult. And when it comes down to being exposed to certain things, it says a lot about your character. It says a lot about your work ethic. It says a lot about how you are as a man, how you are as a woman, how you are as a mom, how you are as a dad. It everything depends on what you was exposed to, and it doesn't mean that you got to be a product of your environment. Let's clear that up. Hey, lady, let's clear that up. It don't mean that you got to be a product of your environment. That is not what I'm saying. Wait, I have an exam tomorrow. Good luck on your exam. It don't mean that it everything is you got to be a product of your environment, because I'm not a product of my environment. I've never none of that, and I was exposed to that. So I'm not saying thank you. I'm not saying that that's what you gonna be because that's what you was exposed to. But we gonna get down to what were you exposed to as a child that gonna let us know how you moving, how you shaking, how you thinking, how you feel like, you know what, life can be. All right, do you got that go-getter mentality? Or do you got that somebody owes me something mentality? Because a lot of these kids nowadays, hold on, y'all. I got to get the stuff right, child. I should have had this already set up. A lot of the kids nowadays have that mentality of somebody owed them something. A lot of the kids, that part, a lot of the kids feel like they're entitled to a lot of things. But come on in, come on in, come on in. And right now, if you come to my live, you've been coming to my live, you already know to grab something to write with in and something to write with. And the first thing first, I want us to put in there. I want to whoop. Oh, thank you. I need y'all to feel this goal right here. Come on, y'all. I need y'all to fill this goal. I need 17 more people to give me that. You a product of your environment. The first thing we're going to write down is a product of your environment. A product of your environment. That's the first thing we're going to write down. A product of your environment. We're going to talk about it. Welcome in, Facebook. Welcome in. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Thank you, Joe. I need 16 more people. I need 16 more people to send me emoji. The TikTok emoji. Come on, y'all. They ain't nothing but a penny. It ain't gonna break the bank. Let's finish this goal. Thank you for the rose. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Let's talk about it. Welcome in, welcome in. Joyful noise. You saying wow, what's up? Come on, I need y'all to fill up this goal. Thank you, Linda. When you come in, make sure you grab up your daily heart me. And thank you, Monique Love. I need y'all to finish this goal for me, y'all. Come on, we don't hardly ever finish no big goals. If it's 4 or 5, we finish it. But let's show TikTok that we got real engagers on here. Thank you, Press. Let's fill this goal that's pinned to the bottom. And while we doing that, let me welcome everybody in. And I'm gonna say this, Monique and everybody that's on my live. Do I got any of my people on my Facebook that'll put this in the chat? Listen, first things first. When you come on my lives, make sure you are following me on all my platforms, because I've been saying this for months and it's finally gonna come to fruition. I'm gonna be going on my other platforms going live more than I'm going on my TikTok eventually. So make sure if you rocking and rolling with your girl, you are following me on all platforms because I am on all platforms. I am on YouTube. I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram. And I'm yet to get enough people to go live on the gram. I want to go live on Instagram, but I don't have enough people to go live. So if you are on my TikTok, if you are subscribed to me on YouTube, if you are following me or subscribe or watching me on Facebook and you are not following me on the gram, please follow me on the gram. I'm on all platforms, but I started this thing on TikTok. I wanna I wanna get big. I wanna venture out to other platforms to make sure they grow. And I'm yet to get paid on YouTube. I still don't know how to do that, y'all. I still don't really know how to do that. I pushed all the buttons. I reached out to customer service. I've done everything I could do. I don't know. I guess I ain't got enough people watching me or whatever. But I need more people on my. I got 70 some people on here. You mean to tell me I can't get at least 13 more people to give me that emoji? Come on, y'all. And make sure you are sharing my live out. I got 70 people and my live only been shared out 12 times. I need, if you have not shared the live out, hold my nose down and share my live out to 10 people. And it's going to reflect. I need you to push me out to the FYP. Everybody in the chat put FYP. Thank you for reposting it. Everybody in the chat put FYP to push me to the FYP. Hey, Miss Barbara. We going to 10. We going to 100,000 taps today. Miss Barbara on there. When you come on, ladies, could y'all please keep in the chat to let them know to subscribe to my other platforms and keep pushing it out. Let's talk about it. Today's topic is what were you exposed to? We're gonna talk about that, but before we talk about that, let me give out my disclaimers. First things first, let me give out my disclaimers. When you come on my live, I do ask that you grab something to write in. I ask that you grab something to write with because when you grab something to write with, to me, you make it real. Next, when you come on my live, I need you to understand something. When you come on my live, if I get to talking about Jesus, if I talk about Jehovah, understand I can do that because this is my live. And if that's what I want to talk about, and if he is who I want to talk about, I will. I'm saved in real life. I'm not just saved for social media. I'm actually saved in real life. Saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, baptized, believing, hand clapping, foot stomping, tongue talking, fivefold ministry. I'm saved in real life. So I don't like religious people. I like people that got a relationship with God. When you are a religious person, you are judgmental. Nobody can tell you nothing, and you feel like you can put people in heaven or hell, but you're not the last juror on the selection. Like you haven't written our book. We don't know what tomorrow gonna bring. So I don't like people that think that they know what tomorrow's gonna bring. I like people that got a relationship with God that know they need to go to God when something is going on. And if they don't understand anything that comes to people or religion, they could go to God when they don't know what the pastor said or what the Bible said, or something just don't make sense. They know how to go to God for themselves, is what I'm saying. I like talking to people that got a relationship with God. So if you are an atheist, if you an atheist, you don't believe in God, you prayed about something and it ain't come to pass, and you feel like ain't no God and you don't want to hear about no God and you don't want to talk about no God, baby, this ain't the live for you. Because if I feel like talking about Jesus on this live, Jehovah on this live, the King of Kings on this live, I would talk about him. If I want to pray on this live, I want to open up the Bible on my live, it's my live and I would do that on my live. You understand me? Next, when you come on my live, I ask that you be mindful. I ask that you be respectful. I ask that you understand there are actually people on my live that don't play by me, and it's up and it's stuck when it come to me. So if you think that you're going to attack me, if you think that I'm fat, you think that I'm ugly, you don't like the way I look, you think that I'm loud, you don't like that I use my hands, you think my nose is wide, and you are offended because I'm a woman of color. If you are offended because I am a woman of color, if you are offended because I raise my voice, if you are offended because I'm using my hands, this ain't the live for you. Because I need you to know something. I'm going to be a woman of color till they put me 6 feet under. Yes, when I get to talking, I get passionate. And when I get passionate, I go to using my hands, I go to raising my voice, and I will talk how I want to talk. I'm not gonna water nothing down. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. I'm not gonna say something to fit your narrative. If I don't know something, I ain't never been through nothing, been through the situation, I'm not even gonna talk about it because I'm one of those people that feel like I ain't got no business talking about something I ain't never been through, ain't never witnessed, ain't never felt, ain't never dropped a tear over, ain't lost no sleep over. I'm just one of those people. I'm one of the realest live hosts you're gonna come across because I'm gonna keep it real, not because I think I'm better than you, not because I want you to, I'm trying to make your light dim, not because I think less of you. I like to talk to real people. I don't like talking to simple-minded people. I will walk you like a dog, but not because I want to harm you. It's because I love you, and I feel sometimes we have to be uncomfortable in order to get comfortable. And some of the topics that I talk about, it rubs people the wrong way. It make you feel some type of way. You might get mad. You might leave off here. You might want to fight me when we get off here. But listen, I'm not scared to talk about things that we need to talk about. And some of the things that we going to talk about today, that I'm going to touch on today, it's going to rub people the wrong way. But I am not mad, and I don't feel no type of way. If you feel like after today, you don't want to come on my live, baby, that's it. I'm fine. I do ask that you support the live. If I'm asking you to tap the screen, share it out, hold my nose down, heart the screen, put FYP. If I'm asking you to grab up stars, I'm asking you to support my live, not because you're going to pay my mortgage, not because you're going to pay my student loans off, not because you're going to pay my car note, not because you're going to take care of my husband or my children or myself. I don't make that type of money on social media. And if I did, you would know it. But baby, I don't. I got paid from Facebook the other day. Y'all know how much I made? $2.79 the other day, y'all. Them the best $2 I made. You understand me? So no, I'm not like a lot of these other live hosts that I can brag and say I made $100,000 at the end of the year. Baby, I ain't made no $100,000. You understand me? I have not made $100,000. But when I ask you to support the live, it's not for the financial game. It's actually to push me out so other people can come and watch me. Other people can come listen. And you're not a gatekeeper. You're not a gatekeeper. When you come on my live, I need you to understand something. If I come down your rabbit hole, if I step on your toes, if I say something that's pertaining to you, I'm going to need for you to put your big boy drawers on. I'm going to need for you to put your big girl panties on. I'm going to need for you to say, you know what? She talking to me, but she ain't talking to me, and she's doing it out of love. She's not doing it to harm me. She's actually doing it to help me. And some of the topics I'm gonna talk about, y'all think it, y'all won't talk about it because y'all afraid people gonna attack you. Baby, if you think the thought that you gonna attack me on my live, you will be blessed and blocked in Miss Janet's voice. I'm telling y'all, it's people that don't play by me on my live. So don't come over here asking too many questions because they don't like y'all asking me too many questions. And for the record, yes, I am married. Yes, I am married. Some of y'all, would that be the first thing they say? Do she, how she know? It's, yes, I'm married, but that don't mean I'm perfect. I'm human just like y'all. Outside of this live, I'm a human being. Right now, we are live streaming. You are actually witnessing. You in my house. Like everything that's going on right now, you watching me. This is a live stream. This is not pre-recorded. And I am a real person. I have feelings just like you. People get on these lives, they will talk about me, they will try to drag me, they gonna get mad at me, they gonna disagree with me, and I'm fine with it. I am fine. You don't have to be on my live. Last thing, join my live at your own risk. That's all I join my live at your own risk. Do you understand me? Oh, before one more thing. I am an educator. I teach high school ELA. And a lot of my students find me on these platforms because my platforms are not private. And I don't actually know which one of my students, but I know students from my high school find me and they actually sit and they listen. Some of them are rude, some of them are disrespectful, but I don't like talking to them outside of work. I like talking to adults. I like the adults to come to the front and we have adult conversations. You might not agree with me. We can agree to disagree. We can go back and forth, but I ain't gonna let it take too long. You're not gonna take over my life because you don't agree with what I'm saying. You understand me? And like I said, I'm doing this out of love. I'm doing it because I like talking to people. Like I like to educate people. And sometimes people be saying, "Why you don't bring people on the live on the panel?" Because I ain't gonna be able to get a word in sometimes. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and we can talk about it in the chat. Okay? First, that was it. That's all my disclaimers. I hope I didn't miss nothing. Topic for the day: what were you exposed to? What were you exposed to? I'm going to rub some people the wrong way. I might have a slew foot of a whole town coming for me after the day. You understand me? But I am not scared, nor am I going to shy away from certain topics because it's going to rub people the wrong way. And people that look like me, baby, they don't like nobody telling them not one thing. They got all the answers. They right and everybody else wrong. People are haters and people are jealous. And people have no reason or business to be jealous of you. Okay? So when you come on my live, I ask that you support the live. I ask that you push me out. And I ask that you come on and let's have a good time on my live. Okay? Let's get ready to pray. We're gonna get ready to pray. Repenting of my sins, Lord Jesus, I come to you humble. I come to you humble, Jesus. Lord, I ask that you cover me from the top of my head to the sole of my feet. Lord, I ask that you plead the blood of Jesus over the airways, over my home, over my husband, over my sons. I cancel anything not sent by you. I plead the blood of Jesus over the airways. Lord, I ask that you create in me a clean heart. Because, Lord, you know, today, at the end of the day, I had a rough day. But, Lord, you know my heart. You know my heart. And I ask that you don't allow me to bleed on your people. Forgive me if I've did anything that was not pleasing unto you, Lord. Lord, I ask that you cancel any following spirits, any jumping spirits, any monitoring spirits. I ask that you send the quality over quantity people to this live. And I ask that you create in them a clean heart so they don't bleed and they are open to receive what's about to go down. Lord, allow this message to reach the people that it needs to reach and be sent to do the things that it's supposed to be sent to. Let it not return unto you void. Lord, I'm asking that you don't let it not fall on deaf ears. Lord, I ask that you close the mouths of the enemy and close the ears of the prince of the air. Lord, throw your weight around. I plead the blood of Jesus over the airways and protect and send the people that's going to come to this live not toxic, not angry, not mad, and not so combative. But Lord, if you must send one of your children that's in that state, I'm asking that you hold them accountable as well as me. Lord, do what only you can do on this live today. In your son Jesus' name, amen. Okay, listen. Yeah, I'm good. I just got to. Woo. Listen, let's get to it. One thing about life, life will show up. Life gonna show up. You understand me? And when life show up, people don't want to hear it. Today's topic is, what are you exposed to? What were you exposed to as a child? And now in your adulthood, it shows. Thank you. Thank you. Let you know what? And one thing I asked that you wrote down already, you should have written it down, is a product of your environment. You're not, you're not, okay, I'm glad to know that the Bible is a fairy tale. Okay. Like I said, join my live at your own risk. On this live, oh, on this live, what you would not do, because baby, I'm in that type of move. We not doing that. But what you don't have to be is a product of your environment. And I say that because sometimes when you grow up being exposed to certain things, sometimes you either grow into that or you grow above it. And sometimes people don't grow above it because that's what they've been taught. That's what they've seen. That's how they feel like they've been treated. So when they're exposed to certain things, either it can be a good thing or it can be a bad thing. But you do not have to be a product of your environment. I grew up, my mom was on drugs. And to this day, I'm 46 years old and I've never taken drugs ever. So that's why I say you don't have to be a product of your environment. Don't let nobody tell you that that's what you gonna be because that's what happened with your mom, or that's who you gonna be because that's what happened to your dad, when you've watched certain things go on in your upbringing. We all know nobody's perfect. We all gonna make mistakes. We all fall short. We do things sometimes that teaches us life lessons. Write that down as well. Life lessons. And some of the life lessons that we are taught, it don't start in the streets. It don't start on social media. It don't start on TV. It starts right in your home. When you are exposed to certain things in your home, it shows. I'm going to talk about this and it's going to rub people the wrong way because they're going to take it out of content. But one thing about it, this is a live recording. We can always go back and listen to it. It's prom season. It's prom season. And yes, everybody can do what they want with their money. And just like people can do what they want to do with their money, this is my mouth and I can say what I want to say out of it. I don't have to agree. We witnessed Pahokee down in Clewiston, Belgrade, close to Miami, West Palm Beach. We witnessed their prom. And when I tell you they prom, them people, the students looked it nice. They did. I tipped my hat off to the people down there. But listen, you mean to tell me y'all spent money on them dresses being shipped? Y'all spent money on lions? Y'all spent money on helicopters? Y'all spent money on nice cars, foreign whips? Y'all spent money on all this stuff. My thing about that is, what is the, like, what are we teaching our children when they grow up? Because that was only for a moment. It was for a moment. They say allegedly the tiger or the lion was $7,000. Uh, yes, the lion was $7,000. Baby, if I had $7,000, I would not rent. And listen, this is for me. I wouldn't rent no lion for $7,000. I would have actually taken $7,000 and put it into a savings account. They go hard when it come to prom. But we got schools that got leaks. We got schools that need new books. We got schools that teachers are underpaid. We got schools that bus drivers are not being paid. We got schools that can't feed the kids. We got schools that the AC acting up. If you got money to get lions, how about you put it in a bond or something that benefits the school, your kid's school? That part. There's a lot of things that we need in the school system as a whole, but every time we come to the parents, I'm an educator, we can't get nobody to show up to the PTOs. We can't get no parents to show up to the parent meetings. And then when your child is lacking something, like some of them need tutors, some of these kids need tutors. Some of these kids are that going to school can't even read on their reading level. I'm just saying we need kids that get real insurance. We need kids not on Medicaid. Kids need to go to school and don't have to worry if the government gonna be able to pay for it. If you got $7,000, make sure your child is able to go off to college. Make sure the cars that you are renting for that night, the clothes that you buy, make sure when prom is over, they don't ever have to worry about nothing. That same energy y'all put into prom, we gonna need y'all to put into coming and showing up to the meetings. And don't get mad. This is my thing when it comes to people that look like me. We are the ones they talk about that we are financially burdened. We're not financially free because don't nobody want to have this conversation. Don't nobody want to have a conversation about us as people of color being financially free. And it don't start with just spoiling your kids at prom. Like, as a person of color, the way that I look at things and the way that I think, this is why we are so suppressed in our mind. Because soon as somebody have this conversation, I can guarantee you somebody mad right now. Oh, she mad. People can do what they want to do with their money. She just jealous. Y'all hating, hating. I am not hating. What I am mad about, I'm mad that we don't have discussions, or social media or the news platforms don't talk about the good stuff that comes out of black communities. The only thing they talk about when it come to us, they gonna put Pahokee on the map right now. They talking about it all over the road, over the world, over the globe. But soon as prom over, you ain't gonna hear nothing else about Pahokee. You ain't gonna hear nothing else about Pahokee when prom is over. And anytime bad stuff happen, they will plaster us as people of color over the news. They talk about HBCUs, they drag HBCUs. And the reason why I'm saying this, what are you teaching your children? What is your child exposed to? To think the thought that let me spend a whole lot of money over here, don't got no real life insurance, don't got no savings account, don't know how to save nothing, ain't got nothing after prom is over. What is it that your child gonna have? Like $7,000, your child can start buying some land. Your child can get a house built. But yet we don't own nothing, but yet we spend all our money trying to show the world that we got it, trying to show the world, oh, I can buy my kids a life. Rich people don't do that. But rich people don't do that. That part. Rich people don't do that. If you ain't got money saved up, going and renting a Lion, renting a Lamborghini, renting a Audi, renting a helicopter, it's not really a flex. You mean to tell me you work all year long just to take 7,000 of your hard-earned money to rent a Lion just so you can have it in a picture and everybody can be bragging about it? You put your money in so you can send for a dress from Nigeria. And then soon as they get to talking about people of color, when they talk about people of color, you know they talk about how we beg, they talk about how we don't have, they talk about how we are uneducated, they talk about how we are lazy, they talk about how we don't have. They go on and on and on, but that's just a small section of the way they talk about. There are elite people of color. There are actually people of color that got just as much money as the people that don't look like us. There are highly educated people that do highly educated things, that do more than break laws, that are lazy and get mad when somebody try to tell them something. We as a people will never grow. We ain't gonna never grow. We're never gonna top nobody or be at the top of nothing as long as we keep this mindset of let's do it for right now. Your child growing up in your house and you tell your child no, it's gonna go further than you telling your child yes. And this ain't me being jealous, because if I wanted to get my son a Lion, you better believe I got people in my family, we'll make it happen. But I don't think that having a Lion on prom date, no boat, not having the best suit, not having the best shoes, not having no rented Audi, I don't think it's a flex. Not the way I think right now at 46. And we are exposing our children to. We are exposing our children to think that it's okay to not have a savings account. We're telling our kids it's okay to spend unnecessary money to impress people that you don't even know. Because I put a picture on social media. People don't even know me. They don't know if I'm doing good or I'm doing bad. They can't put me in a hell or no heaven. They can't help me if I got a need. And when it comes down to our children that look like me, all we gonna be able to do is look back on a picture and say, oh, I remember when my mama sent me to prom and I had a Lion. You bragging about that, but my thing, are you teaching and I'm not saying they not. I'm not saying they not, but my thing is, are you teaching your child financial literacy? Are you teaching your child to get out of the mentality that they tried to keep us in or suppress us to have? Education is key. Y'all understand the people that own social media, that own the news platforms, they are not talking about the people that do good. We can even talk about the pastors. When the pastors do one thing wrong, they take a pastor name and drag it through the mud, especially a black pastor. They talk about it so bad, but they never talk about how the pastor gave back. They never talk about how the pastor raised money and paid mortgages and paid rent and put people in cars and sent children to school or gave kids shoes on their feet. No, they talk about the bad. Right now in the news or on social media, they're talking about FAMU. Let's talk about what you are exposed to. Let's talk about it. FAMU is a historical black college. They've taken FAMU and drug it through the mud. We already got people talking about how FAMU and black colleges, historical colleges, are not important. And black colleges are very important. Don't let nobody make you believe that they're not. But we have a whole school being drugged through the mud because of one program. They say the football and the band department, that part, academically, they have failed for the school year. But my question is, if you work at FAMU, you know somebody that work at FAMU, tag them in one of these lives. Because I got a question for the people, the professors that work at FAMU. If you work at FAMU, I'm going to need to understand something. Because, see, I work at a school. I may not work at no college, but I work at the high school level. You mean to tell me y'all let them kids play football, be in a band, do cheerleading, or whatever the part that is, that's the part of the band or the school that do that part? You mean to tell me y'all let them kids play all year, and after the first semester y'all ain't snatch them up and sit them down and tell them they need to do better? I'm confused. Tag FAMU, somebody on here, make it make sense. You mean to tell me, as a parent, you didn't know your child should have not been running no ball or running them streets? They say FAMU. Yes, college, FAMU University. Look it up. It's all on social media everywhere. They say FAMU, people, it's been going on for years. That, you feel what I'm saying? It's been going on for years. You mean to tell me our kids running a ball, but academically they don't know how to read, write, subtract? They ain't getting what they need. This my live. You don't like it? Get off. This my live. You don't like it? Get off. And it's a black college. You know what they gonna do to us as black folks? We FAMU. We FAMU. If you ain't even went to college, if you ain't never even put your foot on a college campus, if they talk about FAMU, they talking about us black folks. Once again, we're in the news. We've made the news as a whole, as black historic college, black people. Once again, they're saying, look at the black people. They go to school and don't do what they're supposed to do. This is what I'm talking about. What are you exposed to? Because if you was my child, played on the football team or academic, wherever you was in trouble at, I have a problem. I have a problem as a black parent if my child went to school. I have a problem. Okay, you finna get off. Blocked. Okay, you done. Now you finna get blocked. Come on here. I'm not doing this. And block. Bye. There you go. There, you ain't got to hear my loud mouth no more. You ain't got to hear my loud mouth no more. You don't got to hear my loud mouth no more. If I'm too loud for you, I'm going to help you not hear my mouth. But listen, when it comes to us as people of color, we must do better. When we prepare our children and we raise our children and we send them out to this world, we must prepare them for the disadvantage. What I mean when I say that, We raise our kids to think life is fairy tales, skittles, and you can get everything. Ain't no, ain't no disappointment, ain't no doors being closed in your face. That's not true. When you are a person of color, they treat you like that. They treat you as such. But you don't have to be a product of your environment. You don't have to act like that. You can go out and know how to talk right. You know how to articulate your words right. You know how to save money. You know how to pay your bills. You know how to be a grown woman. You know how to be a grown man. You know how to act. You know how to say, I made a mistake. You know how to apologize. You know that you need to save money versus letting it be a flex that you think this is what I'm talking about. People that look like me, a lot of people, I'm not saying this as a whole, but there are too many people that think, let me spend everything right now and show out for the gram. Let me be able to post pictures and then don't have no money saved up. Can't even, if you in need, you got that beg and borrow and get it. You got to get, you have, but you, if you as a person of color, you are very capable of getting out there and getting it, standing on your own. We've been through too much to think that the only time we are supposed to show up is when we can show that we got it. We've been through too much to think the thought that every time somebody says something to us, that we got to thin and prove, and I got to prove a point. I got to get loud. I got to shake my head. I got to throw my hands. I got to show you that I can be ghetto. When somebody is saying something and it's the truth, just say ouch and don't get mad. Because if you don't got 3 months of money saved up, getting on the gram, getting on social media posting that you sent your child to prom in a Lambo, it's not a flex. Getting on social media saying I ordered my child dress from Nigeria and you get Medicaid is not a flex. Getting on here, getting your child a lion and your child don't got no real insurance, but like I'm saying, if there are things that your kids don't got, it ain't a flex because you what we're teaching our kids, go ahead and get that Lexus and stay in the hood. Go ahead and get that Audi and rent. We're not teaching our kids to own anything. We're definitely not teaching our kids that credit is important. Nobody taught me that until now. That part. When you can't afford to put your child through college, literally, you ain't got no business getting no lying. That's my point. I ain't trying to knock nobody or make nobody mad, but if you offended, go ahead. You shouldn't have to worry about if the government gonna be able to pay for your child to go to school. Not when you got $7,000 to get a lion. Not when you got a helicopter bringing your child in. Like if you got to depend on the government to do something, you don't need to be doing it. And then when somebody try to tell you something, listen. Just like back in the days, a lot of the stuff that we use, people that look like me and people that look like you created it, built it. I'm talking about got down and through there. But a lot of the acknowledgement didn't go to people like us. But the same people that did it back then can do it right now. We are very much capable of building things, starting platforms. I'm still waiting for a person of color to start a platform for people that look like me, where I could be getting paid just the same way as TikTok. We got the same sense, the same knowledge. We go just as hard. But excuse me, when it comes to certain things, we as people of color won't support nothing. We won't support nothing. And we gonna get mad. That part. We gonna get mad. We gonna get mad. Somebody mad at me right now, and I don't care because it's the truth. And we got to start teaching our children. We got to start teaching our children just because you don't see no elite, just because you don't see no well-dressed, well-educated people of color, it don't mean that there are none. You just might not have none in your area. You might not have none in the areas that you live in, miles and miles away, but there are people very educated. I'm talking about highly educated. And sometimes you won't even know it, but I can guarantee you this. The ones that are very educated elites, they don't go out and spend money on unnecessary stuff. They actually save their money because they know certain things lose value once it leaves the lot, once it leaves the platform, and they definitely know they ain't got to show out for social media. They don't have to do nothing for likes. Listen, when you go to the store and you got to wonder if you can pay for or ask how much it is, you ain't got a business buying it because you can't afford it. Just like the people that can afford to go on trips, we should be able to afford to go on trips when we want to, not when we can. Everything I'm saying, somebody get mad. But what I'm talking about, what are you exposed to? What are we teaching our children? Let's get off that. That was deep. I know some of y'all mad, but I love y'all. I do. And y'all in Pahokee, y'all was that them kids was looking nice. But it's just some things that we got to tell the truth about. We got to tell the truth about. I'm just saying. Let's talk about what you exposed to. If you, like a lot of us, that part, that part. When you educate, no, it means that you ain't gonna be programmed and you ain't gonna fall for nothing. You ain't gonna fall for everything. Being educated, know that everything don't deserve a response. Being educated, know you understand. You know what? I deserve to be here. Being educated, that's when you know I deserve to be here. What make you think or make you feel like I don't? I don't care if you got gold teeth. I don't care if you got dreads. Edrin James is from my hometown. A lot of people feel like Edrin James is from Miami. Edrin James is from my hometown. He was one of the ones he was just in the Hall of Fame, and a lot of people said he wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because he had dreads in his hair. He proved them wrong. You understand me? Because you got goals and you got dreads, that don't mean, and this is what I be talking about. It don't mean you got to be a product of your environment. Edrin James come from throwing watermelon on the back of trucks. He came from working in the fields. Edrin James, if you don't know who that is, look him up later. He came from a small town throwing watermelon on the back of a truck, but he ended up in the NFL. Do y'all understand? So you don't have to be a product of your environment. He walked the same streets I walked on. He went to the same high school I went to. And it don't mean because you come from a small town, you can't amount to nothing. You can't be better than what you see. Listen, let's talk about it. Excuse me, y'all. Let's talk about it. My question is, what were you exposed to? If you were exposed to somebody cussing from the time they wake up to the time they go to sleep, everything out their mouth was a cuss word, I can guarantee you when you grew up, we ain't even got to say growing up, I can guarantee you right now, if you are a cusser, your child cuss, your niece cuss, your nephew cuss. Because if you grew up around cussing and you became a cusser, everything under you be cussing. You understand me? You understand me? That's why I asked, what are you exposed to? When you expose your children to saying you ain't gonna amount to nothing, when you tell your kids, I'm sick of you. And I ain't talking about because they done something over and over because you're angry because they daddy probably didn't pay child support. When you tell your kids that they worthless or they ain't bought nothing or they can't do nothing, you're exposing them to negativity already. So in their mind, they feel like they can't do it. They feel like they're worthless. They feel like, oh, listen, we've had children write letters and talk about themselves. And the responses that we've gotten, you will be so surprised at the negativity that the kids think of themselves, not because it's actually them, it's because what they've been exposed to and what people speak over their life. One thing about me, I don't care how loud. I am on here. I don't care how y'all perceive me. When I'm at school around them kids, I don't care. I do not allow kids to sit by themselves. I do not allow a child to even think the thought that they're not capable because they seeing everybody else capable. I don't let kids act as if they see other kids with material things that, oh, that child rich, they got it, and they don't got it. No, you on the outside looking in. All that they can, but when you constantly say they can't, this is what they think. What are you exposing your children to? What have you been exposed to? Because a lot of people that's been exposed to certain things, you know what they say? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. That's a lie. When we don't teach our children or we don't talk to our kids, listen, before I knew better, I used to be a cusser. I used to be a cusser. Now you can ask anybody. I don't cuss my children. I would not cuss my children because I don't feel like you got to cuss nobody out in order for them to hear you. Because the more I cuss my children out, and then I'm a boy mom. If I cuss my kids out and low rate them and talk to them like a low down dirty dog, they gonna feel like women should talk to men like that, and that it's okay for somebody that's supposed to love you to talk to you in that manner. And they gonna feel like it ain't no positive, and it ain't you. The only way you can function if you got to cuss. If you grew up with somebody doing this all the time, when you this, I have people to tell me they can't have a good time unless they doing this. When you a person of color and you want to have an event, people won't come and support your event if it ain't got none of this going on, if it ain't got none of this going on, because they feel like that is the only way they can have a good time. You mean to tell me you go to sleep, you wake up, you eat, you that's the only thing that you can do, and that's far from the truth. Because if you got a job, you on them people job sober unless you don't want to work. But when you grow up and that's all you know, you see everybody doing it, you grow up to think, you know what, I got to do this to function. Thank you. I got to do this to function. I got to do this to have a good time. If I ain't doing it, I can't have a good time. I don't want to go nowhere unless it's a lot of this. And y'all already know when a lot of this going on and a lot of this going on, when all that clash, that's what a drama at. This is why on Easter, they show the communities of people that look like me. They show a community of people that look like me. This is all they did. This is what went on in the communities of people that look like me. When we get together, a lot of us, we feel like, oh, we got to confront somebody. We got to show out. You mean to tell me you wait till Easter or you wait till Thanksgiving to address something that you could have addressed all year? You spent all that money on them shoes and them clothes and that hair and that makeup. You did all that just to go out there to do this. And you know why this is happening? Because when you mix this and this, when you mix that together, some people can't hold it. Some people can't hold it. And I've never done it, but they've said this right here will bring something up out you. A sober man tells no tale. A sober man tells no tale. You ain't sober enough to think logically. So in your mind, I got to show my behind. I see somebody that tried me. I seen somebody that tried me. I don't know, my live went off. Well, I don't know why my live went off. I seen somebody that tried me, and I need to show out. I need to show out. I need to show out like right now. That part. This ain't a whole. But when it comes to certain things, we as us, we got to do better because what we portray is we don't know how to act when we mingle up with each other. And that should be far from the truth. We shouldn't be giving nobody any fuel to think that we don't know how to act as a culture. And we know how to act. And I'm not saying it don't happen in other cultures. Right now, this second, this live, I'm talking about my culture. So please don't get on here and say it ain't just us. I know it ain't just us, but everybody else ain't being talked about. Everybody else ain't being talked about. We as people that look like me, we're the ones being portrayed. We're the ones they're saying don't know how to act. Another this over here, another this over here. My question is, what are you exposed to? If you are exposed to knowing how to think logically, knowing how to deal with your emotions, knowing how to say, you know what, right now is not the time, because if I open my mouth, I'm going to act all the way up. Listen, what you exposed to. Let's talk about how you deal with your anger. A lot of us, when we get mad, oh, I gotta show them. But a lot of us that don't grew up, we understand everything don't deserve a reaction. And I know some people saying, I ain't there yet. I ain't got to be there yet. You mean to tell me, beautiful as you are, handsome as you are, you want to be rolling around on the ground? You want somebody scratching you up? You want to be tussling with somebody? You as a man, you got to always use one of these, pew pew, to prove your point. I'm just saying, when you exposed to somebody that don't know how to talk, don't know how to deal with confrontation, you get a lot of what goes on social media. That part. Welcome in. When you are exposed to a parent that don't know how to deal with their emotions, don't know how to talk, don't know how to get in a disagreement without harming somebody or have to thin and prove or got to fight and got to get on social media. Listen, the old me, I know a lot of the times right now in my life, I would have showed out. But when I grew up and I realized everything didn't deserve a reaction, and not because I'm scared. See, people think I got to show them that I ain't scared. I ain't never been scared. You ain't got to show nobody you ain't scared as long as you know you ain't scared. One thing about me, when I get real, real mad, I'm talking about real mad, I'm talking about fight mad, I cry. I don't cry because I'm scared of you or what you going to do. I cry because then I don't know what I'm about to do. I'm not crying because, oh my God, I'm crying because I'm scared. No, it ain't that. I'm crying because I don't know how I'm finna react. And I know it ain't nothing in this world that's worth me getting tricked off these streets. Nothing. I don't have to get in I don't need nobody to record me acting no type of way, because when I get mad, I need a moment to calm all the way down. And I can guarantee you, some of y'all too, when you get mad, if you come, once you calm all the way down, that part. Once you calm all the way down, you thinking to yourself, is it even worth me acting like that? Everything, and you don't even have to. You can sometimes you can say what you say and be like, you know what? I said what I'm saying. I'm done with it. I'm gonna move on because I know I'm gonna come out of bed, and when I come out of bed, it ain't gonna be cute. We not a lot of our kids or a lot of us weren't exposed to somebody knowing how to defuse a already bad situation. Some of us are raised to raise our voice, cuss each other out. They go low, I go to hell. They said something, I'ma say something bad. They made me feel some type of way. They got me, I'ma get them back. They hit me, I'ma hit them back. Like, people, a lot of people are exposed to people that don't know how to say, you know what? You know what? It ain't even worth me putting my hands on you. Why do you think a lot of people use these? Pew, pew, pew. They using these, and they are taught that if you use one of these, Some in a lot of the situation, the person ain't gonna come back. Yes, a lot of the people ain't gonna come back. So you was built to use a pum pum to take somebody out. You're not really built like that. Because if you was really built like that, go to the army. Get on the front line. Get on the front line and do all that. But a lot of them that's doing this, pum pum, they ain't really built like that. The environment they grew up in, they feel like I got to have one of those. I got to protect myself. One day I talked to a 13-year-old boy. And he said the next day he was going to go to a house party. But he had to go because he had to go get his pum pum because he had to protect himself. Why at 13 going to a house party, you got to think about getting a pum pum because you got to protect yourself. What are we exposing these kids to? What have you been exposed to? When, as a man, you ain't never seen a grown man. You ain't never seen a man be a father to their children. You ain't never seen a man show up for their children. You ain't never seen a man show up besides football games. If you ain't never seen a man that say, you know what, even if I ain't with your mama, I'm gonna pay the child support, I'm gonna make sure you taken care of. If you ain't never seen a grown man do it, you as a man would never do it unless you really put your mind to it. Both of my brothers are great fathers. And both of my brothers did not have their dads growing up. But we had a hell of a mama. You hear what I say? We had a hell of a mama that raised us. But some men don't know how to be a father or a dad because they ain't never seen it. That part. They ain't never seen it being done. That's just like some women. Some women ain't never seen a woman be a mother. They ain't never seen a woman stand 10 toes down. They ain't never seen a mother cook and clean and hug on them and pour into them and nurture. Some women got children and ain't got nail woman bone in their body. If you ain't never seen it done, how are you gonna know? Some women, all they see is their mama go out there and get money. Let's talk about it. Some women, all they see, they can tell you right now, my mama is a go-getter and she gonna get that money by any means necessary. So what do you think your daughter gonna do? If all she ever seen was you go out and get money from men, to using what you got to get what you want, what you think your daughter gonna do? And a lot of women don't understand that. But they be trying to tell their daughters, don't be fast. Don't be in them little boys' faces. Don't let them in. But yet you got a revolving door, or you telling her, let me call my friend. Let me get this money from him. And they sit back and they're absorbing everything that you teaching them. You teaching them, this is how you going to get this paper. You going to go out and use what you got to get what you want. You teaching them that, you know what? For money, you will do anything. That's what you're teaching them. But a lot of people don't want to hear this. What were you exposed to? Were you exposed to a mother that was a mother? And let's talk about this. A lot of people that was raised in two-parent households, they assumed that those that was raised in single-parent household, they were not raised off love. They was raised off struggle. That's not true. That's not true. Just because you raised in a two-parent household, it don't mean your house was built not to break. It don't mean your house wasn't built not to break. It don't mean your house was so perfect in the inside of them walls. You understand me? So let's not think, if you a single parent, it don't mean you love your children any less. You understand me? If you born and raised and functioning, if you don't got your daddy last name and you know somebody that do got their daddy last name, it don't mean they better than you. It don't mean because you can buy your kids all the material things, clothes, shoes, phones, watches, take them on trips. It don't mean that you are a better parent than the parent that can't take their kids on trips and buy them material things. It doesn't mean because you got a good man. When I say good man, like you got a man that pay all the bills, buy you everything, take you on trips. It don't mean the man that can't afford to pay 100% of the bills is less than a man. And it don't mean your man love you even your man love you more than a man that ain't just putting the $100 or $500 on the table. That don't mean that. Because your man paying 100% of the bills, I tilt my hat. Because you was raised up with your daddy, I tilt my hat off. But it still don't mean you better than people that's like me. It don't mean that you better. Now my back trying to itch, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Oh Lord, my back is itching bad, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Oh, it don't. It don't mean that you better than somebody that don't. See, what are you exposed to? If you exposed to telling yourself or hearing somebody, I ain't got it, I ain't gonna never amount to nothing, I ain't gonna never get it, I ain't gonna be able to do that, I can't, it's too hard. If you are exposed to, you ain't exposed to somebody that's gonna go get it and make it happen and ain't gonna give up till it's done, that's what you gonna get. That's what you exposing your children to. If you raising children and think that everything is handed to them, and they ain't gotta work for nothing. There's life. You gonna wake up and everything just gonna be handed to you. You ain't gotta put no work in nothing. No. If you think raising your children, giving them everything that you didn't have, and you think that's parenting, that's not parenting. You are creating a monster because you're actually raising your kids to think outside your house everything is given to them, and then as soon as they hit a brick wall and somebody tell them no, they don't even know how to act because you raised them and you gave them everything. I hear women say my daddy was this and my daddy give me everything. My question is, what happens if something happened to your daddy? Like, it's okay to be that parent, but you got to also let your kids know I ain't going to always be here. Teach them. In the Bible, it says, don't fish for me. Teach me how to fish. If we give our kids everything and don't teach them nothing, what happens when we're not there? It's okay to be a great father. It's okay to be a great mother. But what happens? What happens when you're not around? Because have you ever noticed when a child gets everything they spoil and something happen to that parent, that grandparent that raised them, some of them don't even know how to function outside of that. They be around here crashing out, and you be like, wait a minute, hold on. You had everything growing up. Why you? Because nobody taught them nothing. But they was given everything, but nobody taught them not one thing. It's easy to give kids everything. It's hard to teach them something. When people say, I don't like people, it's hard for me to grasp that concept because I like people. I just don't like some people. You understand me? I like everybody, but there's some people I don't like. I don't like their attitude. I don't like how they treat people. I don't like how they talk to people. Hey, Miss Guzman, I don't like the way how they treat. I don't like some people. It is okay to deal with people, but some people you got to cut them off. You got to cut them off. You got to cut them off. And it should be okay to cut people off. What are we exposed to? We exposed to so much negativity that lives like mine. people will go past because ain't no cussing going on, ain't no drama going on, it ain't none of this going on, it ain't none of this going on, it ain't no belittling going on, it ain't nobody talking down on this platform. Is different. And because we're exposed to so much negativity, we feel like that is the only way we can have a good time. Attention span ain't don't go far when it ain't no drama, when it ain't no cussing, and when it ain't nobody talking about how bad men of color are, when they ain't talking about how bad women of color are. If I was on this live, hey, love me some me, talking about my husband, I'm gonna use that for an example. Oh, he dogging me, he mistreating me, he using me, he ain't coming home at night, he ain't paying the bills. I pay up. I can guarantee this live will be jumping because people are exposed to negativity. When you hear positive, when I talk about there are good men in the world, I have a slew full of people want to argue me down. They are angry, they are bitter, they are mad. They want to tell me ain't no good men of color in this world. That every black man that has ever been made, created, and born to this world are all the same. And that is not true. There are actually some men of color that get up and go to work. There are actually some men of color that go to church. There's actually some men of color that open car doors. There actually are men of color that pay bills. There are actually men of color that love their women. There are actually men of color that want to make sure their daughters and sons get the love they need. There are men of color that actually want to be husbands. A lot of women are exposed to men that don't want to be, and they assume that this is all the men in the whole entire world. She said, point me in the direction. There are actually good men of color. But when you ain't never been exposed, that part. When you're only exposed to hear the men of color don't want to get married, that's what you're gonna think. When all you've seen is the men of color that don't came across your path, that you don't see, you don't heard, but you hear people talking negative, that's what you're gonna think. Excuse me. When your daddy wasn't by the quarter, your daddy wasn't in your life, your daddy ain't show you nothing. When your uncles wasn't by the quarter, when your uncles didn't show you nothing, your uncles didn't love on their kids, when your granddaddy didn't show your daddy or your uncles no love, when your daddy didn't show your dad, no attention, that is what men, they assume that that's what men are. When you a woman of color and you are taught that you got to be the prettiest, and the only way that you are pretty if you got weed in your hair, the only way that you are pretty if you got a flat stomach with a big behind, if you fit, this is what we taught because this is what's portrayed. When you see the children that's dark, natural hair. You see a woman with natural hair. I hear women all the time tell themselves, I don't feel pretty unless I got weave in my hair. You have women that think that the only time they look good is when they got their makeup done, lashes done, eyelash. That's the only time they can look beautiful. They can't show them their natural selves because they're not exposed to so many women that's natural. I get on my live on the weekend. I have my button on my head. I don't have on no makeup. And I have people saying, oh, she rolled out of bed like that. Oh, she's not cute like that. And I am very confident in myself. I am not a small woman. I know. Don't nobody got to tell me I'm large up here. Don't nobody got to tell me I'm large up here. Nobody. Don't nobody got to tell me I got gut because I had children. Don't nobody got to tell me I don't got no big butt and I don't got no thighs. Don't nobody got to tell me I talk loud. Don't nobody got to tell me those things. You understand me? Don't nobody got to tell me that. But for some reason, when people get on their social media platforms, they got to tell me, oh my goodness, she talking loud. I already know that. Don't nobody got to tell me, oh my God, she's a woman of color and call me the N-word. I already know that. Nobody got to tell me, oh, she large up here and make comments. I already know that. But Nobody got to tell me I don't got no big butt. I already know that. But I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to say this respectfully with my chest. It ain't never stopped not one thing. Do y'all think the thought that out of all the men in this whole entire world, that no man would want me? That every man in this whole entire world think that I'm a ugly, loud, big chested woman of cut. Like, do y'all really think that? It's a select few of people that I have something to say. And I'm okay with that because I know once I open up this live, I'm exposed to a plethora of people. But when you're not exposed to somebody that love themselves with makeup, without makeup, with weaving their hair, without weaving their hair, with a stomach, without a stomach, when you're not exposed, you gonna always think you too big because society says we should be a size 2. You gonna think that the only women that men want is with a flat stomach and a big behind. When you're only exposed to women with weed in their hair and never natural in their face, you gonna think the only way you're pretty, that part, you're gonna only think that you're beautiful is when you are all dolled up. You must love you regardless if somebody ever say that you pretty. You got to be so confident within you. You got to know if I put the weave in my hair, these plaits, I'm wearing the plaits. The plaits ain't wearing me. The eye makeup, I'm wearing it. It ain't wearing me. You understand me? And I love all of me. What people say about me on social media or in person, it does not take nothing from me. If y'all support this live or y'all don't, my lights gonna get paid, my mortgage gonna get paid, my car note gonna get paid, my insurance gonna get paid, my people gonna eat. You understand me? I'm gonna sleep in a bed. My AC gonna be running. Like my water gonna be on. The internet gonna be on. Like y'all not taking nothing from me if you support this live or you don't. Is my point. If you support these lives or you don't, you not taking nothing from me. Because see, a lot of y'all exposed to the resources. If social media shut down right now, it ain't gonna pay me no never mind. It ain't gonna change who I am. Because you know why? I don't put my faith in resources. I put my faith in the source. See, when you expose to people that only live and breathe and eat social media, and they're gonna holler about, oh, they finna cancel Facebook, they finna cancel TikTok, they finna cancel YouTube, they finna cancel Instagram, and some people crash all the way out because they got all they faith in resources. But then you got people like me that got my faith in the source that I know if y'all black out right now, I'm still gonna function. I just won't be able to get on social media no more. I just won't be able to be on social media. But when you expose to somebody, all they do is this, it shows. And this is what I'm telling y'all. What are you exposed to? What are you listening to the time you wake up from the time you go to sleep? I get on my life early in the morning, you get a message from me, and I'm telling you to have a great day intentionally. Have a great day on purpose. I'm telling you that I love you, and it ain't nothing you can do about it. I say that so much, and I've made so many videos to the kids at school that listen to me mimic what I say. So you know what they're being exposed to? They're exposed to somebody telling them to have a great day. They're exposed to somebody telling them that they love them. If they woke up and they got into it with their people at home, they heard Miss Pray say, I love you, and it ain't nothing you can do about it. What are you exposed to? What have you been exposed to? If you're exposed to negativity and nobody ever say, I'm proud of you, I want you to know I'm proud of you. If you in a situation where you want something and you feeling discouraged, don't be. Trouble don't last always. This season of your life, you may not have it. And if it's for you, trust and believe. God gonna let it come to pass in due timing. But when you exposed to somebody always saying women of color just loud and ghetto, that's what women of color gonna assume, that they loud and ghetto. Women of color, we may be passionate, because I'm very passionate. And when I get passionate, I talk loud. I don't talk loud because I want to intimidate nobody. I just talk loud. It don't mean that I'm ghetto. I be talking sometimes on here, and the first thing people say, she's an angry black woman, bitter. She's single. She don't got no man. She ain't married. Baby daddy ain't paid her. They assume these things about me because, see, that's what social media portrays. Social media ain't portraying a woman of color that's passionate about her craft and pouring into other women of color and women in general. They're not talking about how I'm pouring into other women to make them love themselves, fall back in love with themselves, do better about themselves. Self-care is important. Mental health is important. Taking care of yourself and not letting somebody run over you, mistreat you, and use you. They're not talking about that. They're not talking about a woman like me that's saying that quit talking about all the bad men in the world. Let's talk about the good men in the world. They ain't talking about nobody that's talking about Jesus, the one that's the source. They always talking about the people that's talking about the resources. Of course, a woman like me can't get no love because they assume that they know me outside of social media. And this is why I do what I do on my platforms. Now, what I said about P. Hogan, I meant every word. And somebody will take that, oh, she bad mouthing, she talking down on us. I ain't talking down on nobody. What I said is what I said. We got to do better. We got to make sure we taking care of responsibilities. We got to be accountable for some things. We got to stop and letting people think that we don't know how to act. We don't know how to save. We want to live in the poorest of the poor. We got to let people know that we stand for something and don't fall for everything. And when somebody telling you the truth, we got to learn to say ouch and not get mad. Soon as somebody say something about you, you know what? You spent your money on this, but you should have been saving your money over here. When somebody say something about saving, the first thing they say is somebody's a hater. Oh, you a hater. I'm not a hater. I just know what I've been taught. Like, once I grew up and matured and my mind changed, I want to be financially free. I don't want to be a slave to the lender. I don't want to be always borrowing something. I want to actually pay something off. I want to be financially free. Like, I want to break generational curses. I want to be able to leave my kids something, and if I can, take care of my family in the on the mission. And the only way we're gonna do that is somebody need to tell us the truth. You think Tyler Perry wasn't disappointed and people try to drag him in the mud? Your favorite rapper, Cardi B, you think she have days where nobody believed in her? Beyonce, Jay-Z, like these rappers that we listening to, like they've had the moments, but of course we don't see that. All we see is the glitz and the glam, and they got big mansions and they drive nice cars and they be on vacation and they wear the name brand clothes. That's all we see. We don't see the back end of it. See the ignorant stuff right here. The first thing a person say, because I'm a woman of color, I got to be on Section 8 and I got to see have food stamps. The first thing a person say when they come on my live, because they want attention. The second thing they say is I got to be on Section 8 and I got to, like, why does every person of color got to be on Section 8 and got to get food stamps? And I'm not knocking nobody that do. I'm not knocking nobody that do. But what is that stereotype? Like, why do every person of color? Because you know why? This is what social media, like they feel like that's what represents us. This is what the news platforms talk about. They don't talk about people that's educated, get up and go to work, pay their bills on time, and not asking nobody for nothing, got their house in their name. They're not talking about that. They talking about I need Section 8, and this is people that's like Delulu. Like this is what I'm talking about. They don't assume that we know anything. They don't assume that we are educated. They don't assume that we get up and go to work every day. They don't assume that we live in communities where the grasses are cut and everybody got something to lose. They feel like everybody that's a person of color got to live on Section 8, got to be getting food stamps. You see what I'm saying? And this is because of what is portrayed in social media. That part. Like, do your numbers, do the statistics. Every person of color ain't around here asking nobody for nothing. Some of us actually get up and go to work. We ain't trying to thin and prove. We ain't got to fight you. We ain't trying to like have all the excitement on us. We literally out here doing what everybody else do, trying to keep our head above water, trying to keep gas in our car while these gas prices are up. You feel what I'm saying? Hey, hey, baby. But people don't see that. What are you exposed to? You exposed to somebody calling a woman out her name all the time. You exposed to think it's cute to walk around with shorts in your behind. You exposed to everybody standing on the street corner, standing on the porch, not going to work, ain't got nothing to lose out here, crashing out about material things, walking around here with J's, but you get Medicaid. You exposed to people thinking it's a flex to pull up in a public housing apartment in a Audi and think it's a flex. Like, what are you exposed to? And when people get to talking like that, people get mad. Oh, she thinks she better. Oh, she judging. No, it's time for us to stop acting some type of way and act like, you know what? I deserve to be here. I'm supposed to be here. And y'all want people want them to respect us, but yet in social media, in the news, the people that own the news, all they want to portray is the people that act a fool in the news. They want to talk about the cities that all they have is high crime rates, the pew, 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 pew. That's all they talk about. But they're not really going in the heart of these cities and going in the areas where people get up and go to work. All they talk about, and see, this is what I'm talking about. The news like to talk about the bad stuff because that's where the ratings come in at. They don't want to talk about positive because you're not getting no high ratings. And it shows when you are on social media. People love influencers. They just don't like when you're the influencer. People love watching their favorite influencer until they come across your page and they see that you're an influencer, but they ain't gonna rock with you, but you'll rock with everybody else but somebody that you know personally. Because this is what social media does. Social media ain't over here watching the good stuff. They got to find where they're in the communities, tearing each other down, not working, around here living below their means, around here hollering about they trying to keep the men of color down and keep the families apart. They want to hear you talk like that. They don't want to hear us saying there are some men of color that actually love their children, are great fathers. They want to hear the black man, all he do is get clink clink. All he do is pum pum. He don't love on nobody. He don't, that's what they want to hear. But you know what? When we give them that, that is what they run with. That is the narrative. And just because somebody was on my platform a minute ago trying to talk about me and say I'm on food stamps, y'all did not hear me get mad and get rowdy and, oh, what you want? Okay. If that's how you feel about me, first of all, I appreciate the support because you on my page and you're pushing my content out. You're watching me. But I don't have to go in on you. Hey, she here. Hey, girl. My girl in the building. Girl, I knew when you came on there, you would give me some stars. I was wondering where you was at. Thank you for my love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My girl done jumped on there showing me some love. But this is what I'm talking about. What are you exposed to? When you exposed to somebody being torn down, when you exposed to you being torn down, when you exposed to not having nothing, you feel like you got to stay there. When you exposed to not being educated, not trying to figure out how you break generational curses, when all you hear is church is bad, excuse me, pastors, all they want is money, church hurt, and you don't hear nothing about, when you don't hear nothing about pastors, pastors' wives, the people at the church, when you don't hear nothing about them praying, when you don't hear nothing about them paying mortgages and rents and doing back to school drives and feeding people, when you don't hear none of that, all you assume, and we know that everybody is human. So if you got church hurt don't mean don't ever go back to church. Church hurt mean that maybe you need to reevaluate the church that you attend. But when you got the negativity going on, when you exposed to less than you are worth, that's what you do. That's how you talk. That's how you interact, and that's who you interact with. You interact with the people that say something, that part. When you interact with people that always saying the negative, always being, listen, and I tell people that follow me, watch me, listen to me. Do not be around nobody that's stagnant. Don't be sitting around here with nobody that don't want nothing, always up complaining, but ain't trying to change nothing, ain't trying to educate nobody on nothing, ain't trying to set an example for nothing. Don't be around here and let somebody tell you that it can't be done just because they ain't do it. Don't act like that it ain't nothing, that it can't never happen because they ain't never seen it happen. Don't act like change ain't possible when we look at change every day. But things ain't gonna change as long as we sit here and complain about what we ain't got, what we can't do, what the government's stopping. Get from under that. Listen, make sure you are following me on all platforms. Because eventually I'm gonna be going live on the other platforms, and I'm not gonna be on TikTok as much. So please, I'm asking you, if you have not, if you don't have that page, please subscribe to me on YouTube. Please follow me on Facebook. Please follow me on Instagram. TikTok is doing some things to people that look like me. They're hindering our views. They're not sending people to our lives anymore. They're not supporting our content like they're supporting everybody else. And it's cool. It's their platform. But if you are following me on the other platforms, you ain't gonna have to worry about waking up one day and I'm not on TikTok, but I'm on all the other platforms, because you're gonna follow me. You already follow me. That part. So make sure, if you have not followed me on Instagram, my name on Instagram is my name on all my platforms except for YouTube. My name on YouTube is Pretty Brown 43. My Facebook name is the same name as my name on here, Charnetta Pray Hunter. Charnetta Pray Hunter. And if you follow me on any of those platforms, I follow back. Especially if I know that's you. If you send me a request, please inbox me and be like, this is me. I'm sending you a request. Because some people be having these fake pages and I don't. But if you follow me, subscribe to me, let me know, inbox me to say, you know what, I just subscribed, I just follow, so that I can follow you back. But if you like how I got down today on TikTok and you ain't followed me on all the other platforms, please follow and subscribe. If you like the way I got down on YouTube and you're not following me on the other platforms, please follow me on the other platforms. If you like the way I got down, it wasn't too many people on Facebook, but if you like the way I got down on Facebook and you're not following me on the other platforms, please follow me on the other platforms. Please follow your girl on the other platforms, because TikTok is really, 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 really acting up with people that look like me. Like, I'm serious. They're suppressing our views. They're not putting us on the FYP. They're not sending people to the lives like they used. They're not pushing us out like they used to. They messing with people this. That's what I've seen. I don't get paid like that, so. But I've seen so many people make videos about that, and we don't have to be on this platform. It's other platforms that we can be on. So if you're not following your girl, you haven't subscribed to your girl on the other platforms, please do so, because one of these days I will not be going live over here, but I'll be live on every other platform. I see a request. Mona, I see you. Mona just sent me a request on Facebook, and I will be accepting that as soon as I log off on these platforms. When I get off on my live, Mona, I got you. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you. And I wrote a book. The title of my book is called 3 Years Too Long. If anybody is interested in purchasing the book, please click the link in my bios and it will take you to the page where you can purchase the book. It is a digital copy. When you purchase it, it goes right to your email. You can download it and read it. Thank you, child. And I read them. So I wrote a book. The title of my book is called 3 Years Too Long. It's a story about a woman that held on to a broken relationship for entirely too long. And I know my story ain't just for me. I wrote my story to share it with somebody else, to help somebody else get through some of the hard times they might be in, or they witness, or they know somebody. You might not even need the book. Maybe you need the book for somebody else. Maybe you know a friend that's in a broken situation and they've been in there way too long, and your friend trying to figure out how to get out. The book is for them. Excuse me. Buy somebody a book. Help somebody else out. Help somebody say, you know what? You can get through this, because your story ain't my story. And my story ain't your story. But we all got a story. And my story that I wrote might be the story that you need to read to understand there's actually other women that done went through or gone through or got over what you going through right now. Or you might know somebody. It might be your friend, your sister, your cousin, your daughter, your niece might be going through a broken situation. I got 2 requests. I got 3 requests. I got 4 different people just follow me on Facebook. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. When they show the love, that's love. Y'all, because every time whatever goes on, it pops up. You know how Apple is. Apple lets you know everything. So anything that's going on, I can see it. So if you haven't followed your girl, follow me on all platforms. Stay connected, stay connected, stay connected. Because I'm telling y'all, over here, you're going to click on, and I'm not going to be live over here. I'm going to be live on every other platform. So please follow and subscribe. I got another request. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. I'm going, as soon as I log off, I'm going over there to follow you guys back. Yes, I will. Listen, we are going to get ready to pray, but I want to thank everybody that came to my live. I want to thank everybody that shared the live, that tapped the screen, that engaged, that commented, that supported the live in any way. It ain't always got to be financial. The fact that y'all tapping that screen, you shared it out, that you commented, it's engaging to know that, baby, I don't got another one. I got a few friend requests I gotta go handle, y'all, on Facebook. They coming in. Make sure y'all follow y'all girl on Instagram. Make sure y'all doing the same thing on the gram. Let's run them numbers up on the gram, y'all. Let's run them numbers up on the gram. Because I want to be able to go live on Instagram like I go on every other. My name on YouTube is at Pretty Brown 43. At Pretty Brown 43. Subscribe at Pretty Brown 43. That's my name on YouTube. Every other platform is my name up there. Yeah, my niece put it in the chat. That's my name on YouTube. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Let's run these numbers up. Thank you to everybody that came, that stayed on the live, that rocked with me, that understand. Like, listen, this is not me tearing people that look like me down. By no means. This is me trying to educate us to do better than what we've been doing. We got to get out that mindset that everybody is attacking us and everybody is mad, everybody is jealous. It ain't about that. We need to break generational curses. We want to be financially stable. We don't want to always be chained to the lender. We want to be able to get real medical insurance. We want to be able to pay our bills on time. We want to be able to show up and be good parents, mothers, and fathers. We want to show the world that we know how to act when we have a big event. We got to stop showing them every time we get a little this and this and mix it with anger and frustration. We got to attack each other. No. We got to start saving some of this and quit spending it on unnecessary stuff that loses value once you purchase it. We got to change our mindset. It ain't always an attack. It's not always an attack. I don't think I'm better. I don't been through some things in life. I don't think I'm better. I want us to do better though. And it ain't nothing wrong with me wanting us, people that look like me, to do better. I want us to do better because we know how to act. We know how to act. We know how to go get it. I want us to put our faith in the source and not the resource. And if something wrong with me wanting what's best for you, take it up with God. I can want what's best for you. I can love on you. I can want you to do better than what your mama and daddy did. And then you can do what you gonna do. Whoop my behind because I want you to do better. So you get off my live and be mad because I want you to do better. That ain't no reflection of me. That's a reflection of you. Because I'm gonna want you to do better. But listen, let's get ready to pray. Repent of all my sins, Lord Jesus. I come to you humble. Thank you in advance for choosing me to be the person you chose to speak to your people. Lord, cover me from the top of my head to the sole of my feet. I plead the blood of Jesus over the airways, over my home, over my husband, over my son. I cancel any following spirits, any jumping spirits, any monitoring spirits, anything not sent by you. Lord, cancel anything from the underworld, anything, any principalities, anything trying to attach themselves to what I'm saying to me, to my children. I cancel it and send it to the pits of hell. Lord, you are the head of this house. Now, witch, now, warlock, can't nothing come through the blood. I plead the blood of Jesus over everything I said. Lord, open every door that needs to be open and close every door that needs to be closed. Lord, do not allow this word to return unto you void. Don't let this word fall on deaf ears. Lord, anybody sick on my life, I'm asking you to heal them. My. Yes, Lord. Yes, my. I feel somebody pulling on me. Woo! Y'all don't do that. Don't do that now. Lord, if anybody is sick on my life, I'm asking that you heal them from the inside out. Lord, if anybody is weak on my. If anybody is weak on my life, I'm asking that you pull them close and whisper in their ear and let them know when we are weak, you are strong. Lord, I'm asking that you protect their goings and their comings. Lord, I plead the blood of Jesus over the airways. I close the mouths of the enemy, close the ears of the prince of the air. Lord, we shall be the lenders and not the borrowers. We shall be the head and not the tail. We shall be first and not the last. Lord, I'm not wondering what you're going to do. I'm thanking you in advance for what you're about to do. In your son Jesus' name, amen. I don't know where my prayer warrior is at, but one of y'all or some of y'all on this hill, y'all pulling on me. Y'all trying to crank me. Let's not do that. Somebody was praying when I was praying. You understand me? Y'all don't do that because we can crank now. And baby, we can crank. There's somebody praying on here now. Don't do that. But listen, I want y'all to enjoy the rest of y'all night. My girl say me. Say me, that's me. That part, baby. Somebody praying with me. Baby, y'all about to crank me. But listen, until the next time, I want y'all to know that I love y'all. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Without y'all, I can't do none of this. I don't care if it was 5 people on here. Thank y'all to the people that showed up and the ones that always show up no matter what. Thank you to my girl. She has my girl always show up, support the live. She crank the live. If nobody else ain't watching, she gonna be watching. Thank you to my people on YouTube. YouTube, y'all be showing out. Make sure y'all on my YouTube page, cause baby, that's where we gonna be going. We gonna be on YouTube like it ain't nobody business. So make sure if you are not following me, be following me, cause baby, we gonna take off, and you don't want to be left behind. Until the next time, I love you.